Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Fall Jersey. Joe Archino back here, and it has become more clear than ever that Chelsea is going to win the Premier League title. And I think, of course, you look at the standings as of right now. They have a 9-point lead over second place Spurs, Man City in third with 49 points, Arsenal in fourth with 47 points, and Liverpool in fifth with 46 points. But I think more than anything, you look at their just most recent trend where they have the midweek game against Liverpool, they draw 1-1, and then of course they follow that up with a very difficult match over the weekend with Arsenal, and they win that one 3-1. That right there just kind of compounded it all for me and really just made me realize now more than ever, and I've been pretty adamant all along. At the beginning of the season, with my preliminary rankings, I had Chelsea finishing in fourth, possibly third, because that's how much I believed in Antonio Conte. And of course, he has exceeded that ranking that I labeled Chelsea for, and he's going to win the title. I think now the only question is, out of those next four clubs, which one can legitimately potentially make a push to win the title? And I really see only one. We'll start off with Arsenal. Arsenal just loses that match. But I think more than anything, I've seen so many pundits who wrote "same old Arsenal" as the headline after their match with Chelsea, and I think that really says it all. Arsenal, it's the same old story. Discount them. Liverpool, I think largely at the beginning of the year we probably would have counted them all, but they aren't as consistent as I think we would like them to be at this point. Tottenham, to me, does, of course, possess a challenge and a threat, but to me, it's kind of that same thing where that consistency is just not always there for me. I see a club now which is really picking up steam at the perfect time, which has had a roller coaster season, but again, has that potential in the talent that just no one else can match, and that's Manchester City Football Club. Right now, when I look at Manchester City, it obviously started off perfectly. Perfect, I mean, you can't define it any other way. 6 wins from 6 matches. Pep Guardiola looked like he was going to just steal the Premier League from everyone else. But then the season is a long one in the Premier League, and it's not about who wins the first few weeks. It's about who wins the weeks that come after September and October. And certainly that's when Manchester City started to kind of struggle a little bit. But now, with Gabriel Jesus, who has come over from Brazil, he has picked up to the Premier League like a duck to water. He has been phenomenal. 3 goals in his first 3 matches. Didn't score in his first match, came off the bench, but nearly did. It was labeled offsides. He scored 2 last week, and he scored another one before that. Even he himself has said he thought it would be much harder to adapt to the Premier League. Now, I'll kind of go back to like I was saying a minute ago. We've seen players come and have success right away, and then they struggle. We've seen players who come in right away and struggle, and then find their form later. I think Gabriel Jesus might be one of those interesting ones where we still have to wait and see, but you cannot deny that he has given Manchester City a spark back, and that's exactly what they needed. They needed something to give them their spark back. And you can read all the pundits right now who are talking about Manchester City having their youth kind of at the core of this resurgence, and I think that's very true. There's a reason in the summer why Pep Guardiola was so calculated in some of the moves that he brought in, and I think more than anything, now you look at Gabriel Jesus and what he's been able to do for Manchester City. He has given them an energy back that they have surely needed and that has been missing for a stretch for them. But now when we look at it, I think what it comes down to with Chelsea is there really any chance of them not being able to ride out this substantial lead in the Premier League right now? Now, of course, like I've said, there is a lot of time left, and if anyone is going to do it, it's got to be somebody who's got that explosive factor about them. And when you look at Manchester City, I think they, with Gabriel Jesus kind of reigniting the fires there, that they can absolutely do that. Where City struggles and has struggled all season is in the defending. Obviously, Claudio Bravo at the beginning of the year, Pep Guardiola made the switch. Didn't want Joe Hart. Joe Hart wasn't his guy, so they make the move to go get Claudio Bravo, and he has struggled immensely to adjust to the Premier League. Look, some guys just can't do it, and I don't know if I'm ready to say that Claudio Bravo can't adjust to the Premier League, but I think you really have to have doubts based on how much he struggled in during the year. But more than anything, to me, Chelsea just has that defensive factor about them. And with their scorers back, with Eden Hazard having that season like he did when Chelsea won the title under Mourinho just 2 seasons ago, I think now you're starting to see that dynamic for Chelsea, which makes it so difficult when a club like that starts to build a lead. It's so difficult to dethrone them from that position because of how well they defend, and when they have the scoring to back that up, that makes it so difficult. And Antonio Conte is as good as it gets in the world. When his team is going to be as prepared as they are for anyone, there's not going to be slip ups. And that's, I think, last season was the ultimate example of that. It was which club will have the least slip ups. And to everyone's surprise, it was Leicester City Football Club. They demonstrated the most supreme consistency on a week in, week out basis. Arsenal finished in second last year. Tottenham finished in third last year. But Tottenham and Arsenal in the last 8 matches of the season both dropped points against clubs they had no business dropping points against. Leicester City, they took care of the business like they had to all year, and that's why they emerged as champions. This year, it's a similar story. Chelsea has lost to clubs early in the year, which they had business losing to. They are not going to drop points in the later in the season and give these other clubs opportunities to catch up to them. It's just not going to happen. It might be different if this was Arsenal, if this was Tottenham in first, who are really trying to keep that lead. But this is a different manager who has a different style, and I just don't think you can count on them slipping up against anyone they're not supposed to. But the one club that I will be keeping the keen eye on, which I do think has a chance with this new resurgence under Gabriel Jesus, is Manchester City Football Club. But we will just have to wait and see. Until the next time, everyone, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody in the next episode.